When I was 15, 13, 14, I felt like something was missing from my life. I really did. And it turns out that there were multiple things that were missing from my life. And now that I am 18 years old, I'm an adult, even though I don't really feel like it, I have some advice to give you. For all of you that are not 18 yet, that are on your way to adulthood, out of these teenage years. I mean, I'm still a teenager, but on your way to your 20s and like this life that seems very distant and strange, having your own like apartment or house and moving out and going to college and getting your career, and all these things are happening and everyone around you is sort of going towards that point as well. I see it with all my classmates. Everyone's getting jobs, everyone's applying to college, and it's just kind of a crazy time getting to 18 and where life starts to slowly like ramp up and things get a bit more serious and you have more responsibility. I want to tell you, at the time that you are in right now, the age that you're at, you have an incredible opportunity, like an opportunity like no other, to really set up the rest of your life for the way that you want it to be. And most people do not take this opportunity. They just play video games and scroll, and that's it. And then you get to a point where you realize, oh, it's getting serious now. And you think to yourself, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm kind of floating right now. Like, what do I want? Everything's so complicated. I have to get this job, but things are too expensive. And you just realize you're kind of fucked. And I do not want to discourage anyone who is older than 18 or anyone that feels like, if I didn't work so hard at 13 years old, then my life is just over. No, that's not true. But there is an immense opportunity that you have, so much potential right now for you to put in work that is going to change the rest of your life. Build habits and build a mindset that is going to serve you for life. That is so powerful. And if you do not take that opportunity, I think you are kind of dumb. Because you can change literally the entire course of your life just in these couple of years that you have as a teenager. And honestly, that's what I did. Going back a couple of years, I started making these videos and I started trying to improve my life and be healthier. And now I've built these habits that have changed me as a person. They've changed my identity. And I am so happy and glad and so grateful that I did, because now I can see exactly where I want to go. And this is the problem. Most people my age, they have no idea what they want. They have no idea what college they want to go to, what major they want to choose, what career they want to have. They have no idea who they are. And I'm not saying that I have some grand idea of who exactly I am. And even though I am pretty secure and comfortable, I still do struggle with these things, right? But I have a better idea than most of what I like, what I want to do, what I want to achieve. And I want that for you. I want you to get here to 18 years old. And I'm not going to say you're going to be the most successful, rich person ever and you're going to have figured everything out. You won't. Still at this point, I really don't know anything. And you never really will figure everything out in this life. That's why it's kind of amazing. It's like constantly learning, but you're realizing there's still so much you don't know. But I want you to at least be prepared, even if you aren't at this immense success. You don't need to be the 18-year-old millionaire. You don't need to be this 18-year-old that has millions of followers, even though you could be, right? But you don't need to be. I just want you to be prepared when the time comes for this life that's getting a little bit crazy. And in the times we are right now, you need to set yourself up. Well, not need to, but it is so beneficial. Like, please set yourself up for success when this time comes around, when everyone's going to college and life is starting to get a bit more serious. And you have to take on more responsibility than you have right now, because you have so much freedom. And I don't know if you realize this, the freedom that you have, you will never have this level of it. This level of no responsibility and complete freedom, you will never have anything like this ever again. Maybe you will get something close to it when you are able to fully liberate yourself financially and everything in your life is good, but that will take you a very long time to get there, especially if you're going down the regular route. This is for those people that aren't really regular. You don't really feel like you want to do what everyone else is doing. You want to do something different. And my advice to you is with whatever it is that you enjoy doing, and maybe you don't really know, my best advice, honestly, is to try making videos. It's a great thing. A lot of people enjoy that. Try some sort of ways to start making some money or see what you enjoy, right? Do you enjoy doing sales? Push yourself outside of your comfort zone because most people don't. At your age, most people are not doing that. And if you find something that you do enjoy, pour everything into that, all of your free time. Just quit thinking about video games and scrolling. I know your friends are into it and you guys play together and stuff, but you got to start looking ahead and maybe start telling your friends about this too and trying to influence them in a positive way. And you guys can all be on this journey together. And it's such an amazing thing because eventually you will have grown your skills in what you enjoy, or maybe a following with what you enjoy. And you will have set yourself up to not only be able to make money from this, but to actually have skills that you are able to produce quality work, stuff that you're proud of, stuff that you enjoy making. That's not just, all your time consumed by slop and by scrolling and by some random 9-to-5 job that you don't like. And I know not everyone has the privilege to do this, but if you do have this freedom and this privilege to go after what you want, what are you doing? Go after it. If you're just sitting around, lazing around, doing nothing, then you need to change. You need to start thinking about, you must think about, why am I doing this? Should I continue to do this? What do I actually want out of my life? I know these are sort of big questions that most people never ask themselves, especially young people. And I know a lot of old people will tell you, oh, don't worry about it, you'll figure it out, and blah, blah, blah. And the idea is that young people aren't very smart or intelligent and that they can't think of these things. But you can. When you are starting to become a teenager, you are able to start critically thinking. And older people will often dismiss this and say no, you don't know what you're doing yet. But yes, while it is true that you really don't have any idea what you're doing, no one really does, you can start to grasp at what it is that you want out of this life. Even though it's hard to really fully understand, you can start to piece it together. And most people never start piecing this puzzle together. Most people don't start piecing it together until 30, 40. If you are 30, 40 years old piecing the puzzle of your life together, it might be a little bit too late. I'm never going to tell you it's too late, but it does get to a point where it's you should have started all this sooner. Everything would have turned out so much better. You would have grown so much more and produced so much more, made so much more money, had so many better relationships. Most people don't think about these things. You have to think about these things. You have the potential to completely change and set up your life for the way that you want it, a fantastic, amazing life where you get to do what you want to do, where you have the friends that you want to have, and you get to make these beautiful pieces of art or build these skills and talents and build a business, whatever it might be. And you get to completely change the course of your life because you decided to start thinking differently and acting differently than the rest of the crowd. I know you might want to be popular. I know you want to be up with the trends and know what's going on and be cool and hang out all the time. But there is a point in your life where that's not going to be possible anymore, where everyone has to start getting serious. And most people, I'm telling you, are not happy. They're not happy with their job. They're not happy with their body. They're not happy with their habits. Everything that you think life is about and that is so fun, it starts to slowly cripple and ruin your life. Because it's not about the instant gratification. It's about the fulfillment that you find doing things you really enjoy and you really care about and you know that matter in the end. So many of the things that you waste all your time on just won't matter in the end. And you know it. You know that the hours of video games, the hours of scrolling, the hours of eating junk food, it's not going to matter in the end. The pleasure you get right now, yes, you might make memories. And when you're young, it really did have this joy. Video games, when I was a kid, it was filled with so much joy, but eventually that joy faded. And this thing that I once loved, it just became this way for me to escape reality and waste time. And I know this is some kind of basic advice where I'm just telling you, stop doing all the bullshit and start figuring out what you want to do. And I've given this advice a lot. But there are still so many people out there that need to hear this, that don't even know the potential that they have, don't even know that they can stop doing these things and they can be different and think different and that they can start to build a life that they actually want. And I hope that this video can just wake some people up. And I know If I would have found something like this sooner, when I was 13 or 14 years old, it would have changed so much for me, and I would have been able to make more progress and get to a better point at this point that I'm at right now at 18 years old. My life would have been better set up. And I know people will argue against this, and I'm not telling you to not have fun or not have experiences, but there is a great importance to learning how to be disciplined and how to be consistent with things that actually matter and build you up. I'm not telling you to never have fun. I'm not telling you to never go out with your friends and enjoy something because it's instant gratification. I am telling you that what will be fulfilling for you later on in life and what is fulfilling for you now is the most important. And building those things is the most important, and you will regret not doing it if you don't. Please, please, please work on yourself, work on the things that you enjoy, and chase it with everything you've got. You will end up in a better place than I have, even though I feel like I've done a decent job. You can do a greater job than I have. You might even be that kid that becomes the millionaire at 18, that gets the millions of followers at 18. And while that isn't exactly like the most important, the numbers, the metrics, whatever, it does matter. And if you can get there and if you can succeed better than I have, go for it. Do it. I'll be so proud of you. Because you have that potential, but if you squander, if you waste your time, the potential means nothing. It means nothing. So just go get after it right now. This is your time. This is an opportunity you will never ever have ever again. It is a lifetime opportunity that you can pass up right now, which most people do, or you can seize this moment and actually make something of yourself so that when the time comes where everyone is going into the real world, the big leagues, you're ready, you're prepared, and everyone else is like, I don't know what to do with my life, I don't know what's going on, and you're like, I prepared for this damn moment. I want you to get to the point in my life and say, I maybe don't know everything, but I've at least figured out what I want and what I enjoy, and that is more than enough. I hope that this video helped you and that it maybe opened your eyes a little bit. Please, if you like the video, actually drop a like, subscribe. Yeah, that's about it. And as always, never stop improving. You'll be grateful for it later.